I don't even know what we were saying though. I was about to say something. I said, I don't even do all that. You're so regimented. I don't know. Every time you put your mind to something, like whatever diet it is or whatever, like you do it. And then you inspire me to do it. It was keto first and then working out every morning before work. What? Who? This girl? We did that for like a year. Yo,
Yeah, I remember.
that was
I was impressed too. And we were getting up and going early because
for,
I have to work out in the morning before work. After work, I'm not going to do shit. I can tell myself I'll go to the gym after work, but it's not going to happen.
yeah.
I'll come up with every excuse in the book to not do it.
So me either, but you are also a morning person. So I feel when we were working out before work, that just felt supernatural to you. And I was half a human the entire time until like
Yeah.
we showered like an hour later.
I get my energy in the morning
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah. I know. I am.
Andy knows this too. And Andy's a morning person, but on the weekends, he likes to get up and just kind of take the morning slow and watch some YouTube and get some coffee and just maybe take a really early morning nap.
Yeah. Yeah. That's me right there. Like
Yeah.
that's if like I was awake this morning. Like you texted me like, what the fuck are you awake for? I was awake, but by no means was I out of bed. No means was I functioning. No means was I making coffee. Like I wasn't that I did nothing. And then like an hour later you were like, all right, I'm showered. Are you ready? I'm like, I guess I could put a shirt on. It's not that I'm awake and whatever. It's just like my body's like, okay, you've had enough sleep. Get the fuck up. And that's pretty much every morning that I'm awake before 8. But like when it comes to diets with you, like the motivation, I can't do any of that. Like I try. Okay, I actually did successfully do keto for a long time. Now that I'm healthy in actually the eating vegetables way, my cholesterol is fine, but it wasn't because of keto. Like it was not
Yeah.
great for a while. And so now it's good and it's regulated. But the only thing that has worked for me is this, which is literally there's no regimen, there's no diet, there's no calorie counting, there's no nothing. I don't do anything except eat whole food. That's it.
Yeah.
That's
No, that's awesome. Ideally, that's it.
but I
That's,
couldn't do anything else. That's
yeah.
the thing. Like even if I decided, oh, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and cheat and have a burger today. I'll do that, but if I do that often enough, that will become my norm. It's who I am. I don't have that. If I'm restricting myself for a purpose, like it's temporary.
I don't have an addictive personality at all. So that's one thing that helps me a ton. That's why I'll allow myself to pretty much try anything. If I don't like it, I just won't do it again. I guess with some exceptions. I'm not going to chance it on heroin because that might be the thing that I just can't say no to the next time. And probably a pretty bad one.
Yeah, that could be.
Yeah.
Maybe
So
not
I'm
that,
not
but
gonna,
but
try.
if there's someone who could, it'd be
Thanks.
yeah.
But like even at work and stuff, I would have a candy dish on my desk and people would come by and be like, how do you just have this sitting on your desk and not just eat the whole thing every day? I'm like, it's
Because
not even tempted. I like have it
oh,
out
you've
for
put
other people.
oh, it's crazy. It's because because you just put those parameters into what you're going to do. Like your behavior management for yourself is really impressive. Like you could be like, these are the parameters that I'm following now. And they could be totally different from what they were last month or whatever it was that you were doing, but new parameters and that's what you're gonna follow. I'm not that fucking human. I'm just not
I know.
I can't do that. And I've always been super impressed by your ability to regiment yourself based on whatever structures you've decided you're going to try to make your life better in this or that way. Like, it's
Yeah.
crazy.
Like we were talking about in Austin, that's got to be the Virgo in me. Like, dude, just the fucking planning, the meticulous. Like,
It is the
I
word.
annoy myself,
That's the
honestly.
word. Meticulousness.
Yeah,
That's the word.
very much.
Yeah. So I was listening to a little bit of the podcast with Danny Austin. Right.
And
First of all, okay, we maybe should have been a little less intoxicated.
yes, I did not realize.
I know.
I was like, I don't think we were that drunk. Then I started editing and I was like,
Oh,
shit.
we were drunk.
We-
Oh, we were schwasty. And I don't know that I like him as much. I did.
Dude, same.
No, and okay, and fairly, honestly, he got weird when we started recording.
Yeah.
I thought maybe we can get back to the place that we were at, but that recording was nothing like how we were conversing before the recording started. I think he got weird or nervous about it, which is interesting, but he kept cutting me off and shit. And I was like, I was getting pissed off again. And I was like, wait, this was the same reaction you had the first time, and Francis had to edit out your assholeness. But I kept hearing it again. Like, stop being corrective. Like, just answer the fucking question. You don't have to qualify what I've said first. Like 47 times. This is what you meant and what you did. I'm like, I just asked a question.
There was a lot that I had to edit out because we were recording with my phone. Literally, that was it. We didn't have mics. We were in a bus, in a bar with live music going on. So every time the three of us started to talk, the audio just went to shit.
Yeah.
And that happened often because we were just like, one
Talking
person
all
says
over each
something and
other,
then we
yeah.
start, or anytime we were laughing, which was the great part. So anytime we actually said something funny, it had to come out.
Whatever. It was a
So,
good experience. And I think it kicked off this whole like connection thing that's now starting to be like a common thread in my life. And I think as a result, part of this podcast. So
yeah.
it kicked off a huge thing. So that's cool. But my Canadian friend, she and her son came back from Mexico, Cancun last night. And so I went and I picked them up from the airport and they got me a hat. Hang on, I'm gonna show it to you. I thought it was so cute. It says, "Toucan, do it." And it has a picture of a toucan. They'll wear that one instead.
Oh, that's cute.
I'll wear this one.
That one's actually gayer. I don't know how you did it.
I am literally going to tell her that just happened. Hey, I'm literally podcasting right now, and my best friend Frances, I showed her the hat that you all got me. I was wearing a black hat for the podcast, but I showed her the hat and I changed my black hat out for the toucan hat. And she said that it makes me look even gayer. I want to let you know that you contributed to my gayness here on social threads. Goodbye. Should I put the black one back on?
It's like the other one is like gay and fun. This one's like gay and sexy. If you wanted to pick your persona today.
If anybody is listening and not watching, it's the difference between a black trucker hat and a yellow trucker hat. And apparently black is sexy and yellow is
Yellow's
what?
fun and sunny. Yeah, it's just
Fun
playful.
and sunny. We're gonna do fun and sunny today. And then her son gave me a little turtle.
So you met her son.
I did. Yeah. Mostly because they needed a ride to the airport. He is so funny. It's ridiculous.
How old is he again?
9. But like presents like a 12-year-old.
Yeah.
He's really fucking smart. She goes, glad to have helped solidify and amplifying your queer identity. Just remember, you can do it. Yeah, he's cool. But because he's old enough that I can just talk to him like I talk to you.
Yeah. Kids are cool when you can
Right.
level.
Like babies? I don't know what to do with a baby. Why do they come with self-destruct buttons? I don't understand. Like evolutionarily, right? Does it make sense to put the most vulnerable in the hands of someone who's never done this before? And it has a soft spot. Why does it have a self-destruct button? Like why can't that I know why, okay? I know
mean,
why. I'm just saying
you
evolutionarily, okay, it was probably a bad idea to give brand new parents a little thing with a self-destruct button.
just make babies smaller in the beginning. Shoot them things out
Right.
when they're like much
then-
smaller and they can just come out whole and
And then
have their
preserve
heads formed and
preserve our vagina like as much as
exactly.
possible. And not
I
only
feel like they could be a bit smaller.
and honestly, we've been doing this for a long enough time that I think women should have the choice as to whether or not you have to go through all the evolutionary bullshit to have a baby if you're not going to have a baby. Like there should be a switch. I got to go through periods every fucking month.
Oh,
Every fucking month. I got to go through cramping and I got to go through all of this so that my body can be prepared to have a baby that I never fucking had. There should be a switch, an option. I don't know.
I actually just saw my gynecologist and
Me too.
my switch might be an IUD.
IUD. Yeah. Are you doing that?
Yeah. I think I'm gonna. I actually have endometriosis. So she said she thinks it'll help me in general.
Yeah.
And it may not completely remove my period, but
It does for a lot of people.
yeah, it does for a lot of people.
Yeah.
And even if it doesn't, it may be like very small and not painful. And
Yeah, that's what I heard about
so I
too.
might do that. And they're like 8 fucking years,
I know.
dude.
Isn't that crazy?
I was afraid being so close to menopause.
Yeah.
I was thinking that was gonna affect that, and I don't know, prolong it to where I didn't get menopause or something. And she's no, that shit's still gonna happen. It's coming. I was like, oh,
There is
okay,
nothing that you're gonna do to prevent that, ma'am.
yeah,
Still, conceptually, I think it's bullshit that we have to manage all of that.
for sure. And I started mine at 10. 10.
Did you really?
Yes.
10.
PSA announcement to
Public
everyone.
service, yeah.
Yeah. If you started that early, might want to go see a doctor. I don't know how to say it. There's a lot of things that I have that led to my infertility, and a big clue was that I got my period at 10.
Shut up.
Who
Like
knew?
what?
Yeah.
It's because you had it early, or that's like it comes on early because your body is prone to those things. Second one.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes. Second one. Yeah.
That's
Getting it
it.
early didn't cause the things, but
Dude,
like,
I didn't get it for a long time. And then it wasn't even regular until I got it. I think, I mean, okay, we can have a period podcast. So why not? I had it for the first time at 13, and then I didn't have it again until I was 16. And then from 16 to 25, probably 26, 27, late 20s, it was just irregular. So it wouldn't happen every month. It would happen once every 3 months. It would happen twice in a month. Like it wasn't regular at all. Then I would go long periods of time without it. And I was just so grateful that I'm a lesbian because there was no way to track pregnancy. If I was sleeping with men, I'd have been pregnant and having it by the time I knew. I had no like indicators as far as like regular periods. But, and then it wasn't regular until my 30s, dude. I think because of the health stuff, it's always regular when I'm at a good weight, when I'm eating well, whatever my hormones are doing, I think they just regulate when I eat well. So like they're regular now. They've been regular for a couple of years now. They were never in my whole life. And so I just assumed I was never going to be able to get pregnant anyway.
I know all of that's pretty common with people that have PCOS. Do you know if you have PCOS?
I do, yeah.
Oh, shit. Okay. But yeah.
I was diagnosed with it, but like the things that it's supposed to cause. So yeah, I had weight gain and I had trouble getting it off. And that's part of PCOS, right? Yeah, I have irregular hair growth sometimes, like in weird places sometimes. Yeah, that's part of it. But I don't know what else is supposed to come with that. I don't to need to seek treatment outside of like birth control. I don't. That's what they
Right.
never gave me for it. Yeah.
Honestly, if you're not looking to get pregnant, that would really be the only time you need to fix it. Besides, like the other stuff that you were talking about, the personal shit is going to be an issue. But
And I wonder how much of that is mental health also, hormonal imbalance, and like how much of that contributes to my depression. And I've had irregular periods my whole life, and I have been intermittently depressed my whole life. There can't not be a connection between my hormonal balance and my mental health, right? There has to be that because now all of it's regulated. And this is obviously, I think, how my body and mind are meant to live, right? And I've just never experienced it before. But not all the things have been balanced all at once ever in my life. But now it makes sense.
they all play into each other.
I feel stupid for not thinking about that. I don't know, just not putting that together that like physical health is a part of my mental health.
Yeah.
I'm fucking like so dumb. Yeah. Of course.
Yeah.
The implications of, like gut health and all that.
Or hormone regulation plays into mood and mental health and all that shit.
Everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
Men have it so easy.
Dude, this is what I'm saying.
Dude.
This is what I'm saying. I shouldn't have to deal with any of this because I wasn't wanting a baby anyway. So all these complicated hormones, like just make me a dude. That's fine. I just like, whatever. I'll take that kind of privilege. That's cool.
Yeah.
But like,
And I've always wanted to be able to just pee outside, like wherever.
so much. And we have to get that little funnel thing if we even want to do it. And it gets all over the place.
What?
You've never heard of this? You've never heard of
A
this?
funnel?
Shut the
A pee funnel?
outdoor urination for women. A funnel. Yes.
You just squat?
Yeah, of course you can just squat. This is definitely next gen. But like,
So tell me how this works. Are you like funneling into like a bottle?
no, you're cupping yourself and then there's a spout that goes out of your pants.
Okay. Where? Just like into the woods still?
Yeah.
So it's the
Wherever.
same thing as just squatting?
Against a fence, whatever you want to do.
Okay.
Hang on.
What's the purpose? What's the purpose of the funnel?
To be
So that
able
you can
to
keep your
pee like
pants up?
yes.
Oh, all right, I'll try it.
Hey, I'll try it. Hang on. Now I feel like maybe I'm just making this up. No, this is a thing. Stop it. Okay. Hang on.
I thought you were trying to contain it or something.
Okay. This is
That
okay.
that seems way more inconvenient though than
Okay,
just
but I don't
like
know that
squatting.
I don't know that convenience is the key. I don't know. I feel like you could probably tuck this into your pants without having to pull your pants all the way down like you do to squat. First of all, if you're not trying
Okay.
to get anything on your clothes, right? It has to
Mhm.
go all the way down, you have to do the back, and then you have to do it's the whole thing. Okay, with this, even if you do have to pull down your pants a little bit to cup your vagina, it's being collected. So if you have two streams going, like one's going over here and one's going down your leg, it's all,
True.
that's a
Yeah,
problem
yeah,
when you're
yeah.
squatting as a woman. Okay, for all our male listeners, I doubt there's a single one of you. So I do think that it helps the process regardless. Okay, whether in your woods or whatever. How about in the fucking car? Okay, what about what if what if Sammy had one of these when we were at the football game? It's so funny every time I think about it. Like I just thought about
It
it 40 seconds ago and then I just thought about it again and it's funny again. It's
okay, so I heard it's filled. I don't remember
it
that.
what do
Did
you
that
mean you
actually
don't you
happen?
that's because you were in the front seat, bitch. You weren't
I
the
don't
one that had to avoid Sammy's fucking piss all over the place. Sammy is female, by the way. Okay. Sammy is Francis's relative. Sammy is just a nut. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
She speaks the truth. Speaks the
I
truth.
should not be speaking this way about your family, but whoa. Okay, like and I've known Francis for 20 fucking years, which means I've known Sammy for 20 fucking years. All right. And she's Delulu. She cray cray. So Sammy and her husband and Francis and me and Pam?
Danny, Pam, and
Dan?
Dwayne. Danny, Pam, and Dwayne.
Okay. So we decided that we were gonna go to a Miami Dolphins game. Uh
Because they were
because
playing the Eagles.
because they're playing the Eagles and got their asses beat, I'm sure.
Uh-uh.
They
Go
didn't.
back. Roll back that beautiful bean footage. Birds won.
Bitch,
Birds won.
for everybody that's listening and heard what I intended, I obviously didn't mean that the fucking Dolphins won. Are you, is that what you, like, is that really what you think I was just asserting?
I
I don't.
I said because they were playing the Eagles, and you said and they got their ass kicked.
And they probably beat their ass. The Eagles probably
Oh,
beat
okay,
the
maybe.
Dolphins' ass. Anyway.
I heard and they got their ass kicked. All right.
Wow.
Just had to step in.
But if we want to get Francis riled up, that's what we're going to do. Your Eagles got their asses beat by a subpar team. So, being a fan for 30 years, it's misery. They've sucked every fucking minute since Dan Marino. It is bad. Okay. Until recently, we had a glimmer of hope and then whatever. Okay. Anyway, so we're at a
Concussion.
football game. Okay. Sammy and her husband, and Francis at this time a little bit, and definitely me, drank a lot. We drank a lot. We always had a beer. We always had something. We had very few dry events between us. So we went to the football game, and of course, that means we pre-gamed. That means we had a cooler in the car. Don't do that, kids. It means that we were drunk. We were piss drunk by the time the game was happening, right?
Good use of words.
Yeah. It's called foreshadowing. That is called foreshadowing. Oh, shit. So we go to the game. It's fun. We leave and we are in Miami traffic. We are at Miami Stadium and we live in Palm Beach County, which is an hour away if there's not a ton of traffic. We are still pretty intoxicated, except for the driver, obviously.
We are jamming out to Alanis
Alanis
Morissette's
Morissette.
album,
Yes, we are.
Jagged Little Pill.
Jamming out to Alanis Morissette. Like, top of your lungs. I don't think we are making sense anymore. Stupid. We should have been pulled over for the debauchery that was happening in that car. Anyway, Sammy just pauses the whole thing and says, I have to pee. I can't not pee right now. There was no lead. It's not like she asked us to stop 14 times. It wasn't like she was like, just suddenly and within seconds, there was no choice but for this bitch to pee somewhere in this car that was full of 8 people. Okay, no, that's not a thing we're going to do here. But Sammy is Sammy, and Sammy drinks like only Sammy can. And Sammy fucking so spastic.
The weirdest part is she's already prepared for this. This
Not-
has happened
Not with a
so many
urine funnel.
times.
He's not.
No, she's not urine funnel prepared, but she
No.
is metal coffee container with lid prepared. Remember? She pulled out a empty coffee.
That's not what happened.
What?
That's not what happened.
What happened?
No, there was no coffee container with a lid. It was the cooler. It was the cooler that she just sat on. It wasn't a big cooler. It was like this little, it was small. Whatever. She squats in the car, in between the driver's seat and the back seat. She stuffs herself between the thing to try to sit on the thermos cooler thing, and she pees in it successfully.
Yeah.
For the most part. It's not my car. I don't really give a shit that she's pissing on her own car. Whatever, because she's over there.
Just
right?
don't piss on me.
She's not right. I'm not okay with it. I don't want to see or smell or hear your piss in a car. But if you're struggling, girl, because she's just how do you describe her? She's like a squirrel on crack. Always.
Yeah.
Right? It's just then drunk at the same time. It's like the combination of those things. So think about that spastic energy, right? Trying to just stare and pee into a thermos, and then the rest of us like, oh my God. It was just, the energy was whatever, right? So she finishes, she places the thermos thing on the floor of the car so that she can arrange herself again and pull her pants up and do all the things. In that motion, she kicks it. She kicks the thermos. It gets all over the car and all over us. And we are just beside ourselves that this happened. And it wasn't a little bit of piss. Like, it wasn't a little bit of piss. It was like the whole car, like this section in front of back seat, between the front and the back seat, was like wet. Like, very wet, puddled. It was, you don't remember this. You were in the passenger seat and I was behind you.
What a jerk. Why did I even take the front seat? I'm such a...
Oh, you were a total twat back then. But
Valid.
no, I don't even think that's a dick move. It's probably because Pam was with us, so I was going to be back there with Pam and Dwayne. I guess why was Sammy in the back and you were in the front in her own car? I guess that's the weird part for me. Maybe she
probably wanted to be back there.
Oh, for sure.
Because she definitely wanted to be having a party in the back seat.
Anyway, okay, I think that if she had the urine thing, first the sprinkles in the beginning wouldn't have happened, right? And it would have made its way into the container.
Yeah, but the kick...
Yeah. Yeah, that
still would have happened.
That's true. That's true. I wonder if there's like a self-contained thing.
Yeah, you need a funnel with a containment.
Pee into it, and then it's an attachment.
See, I thought the whole point of the funnel to begin with was to be peeing into something to contain it.
So the thing is, it's containing it on both sides, right? Like, it's cupping your whole vagina so you're not getting like dripples everywhere. And that always happens either when you're popping squats or like trying to sneak. It's never a clean process. It's
Yeah.
collecting at that at
Mm-hmm.
onset. And then once it's going down, right, if that thing is sticking out of your pants, like you've essentially done everything that you do squatting, standing up, which is
Yeah.
the goal, I think, at a concert or whatever. Oh my God, I'll never fucking forget, dude. It is unfair to be a woman at a concert. I at an outdoor, not like just a regular concert that lasts a couple hours, but like the day long, 2 days long.
Oh,
It is unfair to be a woman in that setting. Dude, all right. Pam and I were in Missoula, Montana. So, not somewhere we would have chosen to be, but Pam has a history in the military, and part of her job was to learn a bunch of languages for her MLS. And so she would go around the country to whichever school was teaching that particular language. And one of those cities was Missoula, Montana. And at the time, she was dating this woman in Missoula, and that woman had a bunch of friends. And apparently, there was like this super big lesbian presence in Missoula, Montana. Who fucking knew? So we just hung out with this crew the whole time that I was there. They were cool as fuck. The dynamic was cool. Whatever. They were drinkers because there's nothing else to do in fucking Missoula. And there is a beer called Moose Drool, right? Moose Drool is a locally brewed. It's kind of like a
it's like a dark amber, I
dark
think.
amber. Yeah, yeah. I was gonna like
Amber ale.
flat tire,
Fat.
fat. Sorry, yeah, fat tire kind of beer. Did I say flat?
Flat tire beer. Doesn't that sound appealing?
A little flat. Okay, so they have this dark amber beer that's apparently this group's favorite beer, and there's an outdoor concert, right? And so we pregame and we're drinking, and it's beer drunk. Imagine being just piss drunk on like dark beer. That is the vibe of this fucking concert. And it's like this alternative thing that I don't even know. But after a while, I had to pee so badly, and there was like thousands of people there, and three fucking outhouses, or what are they called? Fucking the gross John's
Porta potties.
porta potties. What the fuck?
Dude,
Wow.
at least you and I
Wow.
together can get there.
Okay, so there's like just not enough porta potties for the amount of people who are there. I'm not over exaggerating when I say like 200 people long. It's stupid. It's stupid. You can barely see the fucking. It's so many people. So I'm in line. I'm already suffering. It gets to a place that like I'm inching myself because I can't widen my legs too much because I'm not gonna be able to hold it anymore. So I'm just like, yeah, it's bad. So I finally get to the porta potty. I let go. Oh my God, it feels so good. It takes me probably a whole ass minute to like empty my bladder. I'm sure it was 500 cc's or more. We measure pee at a neuro rehab. So I go back to the group and I'm like, oh, thank God. I'm so relieved. Within seconds, I have to go again. Within seconds. So I leave the group, I go back in line. And by the time I'm up front, I'm squeezing my legs again. And that's what I just had to keep doing. I did it like 4 times. I had stopped drinking and I didn't drink beer at the time. This is not how I drink usually. Another thing that was happening was the line was very long, but right along the side of the line was a fence, and the entire fence was lined up of men
Oh,
just going to the bathroom.
I
That's
would have
it.
been over there.
They
I would
were
have been over
the
there with the men.
men were just sitting there discreetly pissing while I'm sitting in line for the fourth fucking time. Okay, because I'm drinking beer with this group of people who I feel like at the time, because I'm in my 20s, that I have to keep up with, but I really shouldn't have. More on that later. I was pissed. And if I had that fucking device, I'd have been against that fence, pissing right next to Bob, because that would have had me back with my new friends, listening to the concert and enjoying my moose drool. But no, because I don't have a penis. The injustice of this is just too much. It's too much.
Here's my question about this. The whole reason why girls can't squat and pee in public is because you're exposing your vagina, right?
I think public urination is just a thing.
Then
In
it's
general,
illegal for men too,
it is.
because they're urinating and they're exposing their
Right.
penis.
Which is why it makes it so much more convenient that they can do it so discreetly. I think that's the point. If a man was caught pissing on the side of a building, like, it is illegal. It's public urination. But because it can be done so discreetly, it's so much easier to get away with it. A woman pulling down her pants low enough to be able to squat in an alley, like,
It's obvious.
it's obvious and it's hard and it's gross and it's like all the things because we don't have the convenient part.
Yeah.
I think that's the injustice, not necessarily that it's illegal.
It seems all the guys on the lined up on the fence would have been obvious to
Yeah, I think I probably could have gotten away with it because
Yeah.
they knew how under bathroomed they were. But what are you supposed to do? You don't have enough
have to do it.
bathrooms. Moose drool is flowing. It is what it is. I probably would have gotten away with squatting there because of the circumstances, but I also think there's an element of just women in general and what's acceptable for us and then what's held accountable as a result. I don't even know that it would have been police that were seeing that for you to experience shame or someone saying something or whatever, right?
Maybe you would have started like this woman's movement and everyone would have been like,
maybe. But I do think that we hesitate probably more to do
It would have been-
indecent things and in quotes, right? Indecent things because of how it's perceived. But either way, I'm just saying, I think with that device, it would have been a much better experience. So this leads into why I can't stand hiking and why being on fucking Bumble BFF and shit and everybody loving hiking, more on that in a later episode. But these girls wanted to go hiking. No, not even the girls. Fuck that. These girls didn't want to go hiking. Pam wanted to go hiking. Ugh. Okay, so I just had a full night of moose drool, a full like experience with the porta potties, more alcohol, very drunken night. It's not that kind of night that you want to just spring up the next morning and do a brisk hike. It's not the kind of drinking that makes you want to just get up and do things the next day. But I rallied.
You're a good friend.
Because Pam is my bestie. And at the time, I was younger and maybe a little bit more fit. I don't even know if that's true, but I thought I was pretty confident. I was like, hey, hiking is just walking. I can do that. Hiking is just walking. That's no biggie. Thing is, Missoula, Montana, specifically this particular hiking trail, is known for being wildly difficult and super high. But I do it. But I do this fucking hike because I'm not gonna not, right? And I think from our experience recently, I think that's proof that I was in better shape back then. So we're on our way back down and I feel all that moose drool. Gurgle it up. It's coming. It's coming. This is a narrow trail and it's popular. And this is like a Saturday morning. Okay. And so there are people just constantly, and I have to vomit. I have to let loose hard. So I just go to the side of the mountain, which is not very far away from the traffic. And there's like this, it's like a bench made of like rock. And there's a dude sitting on it, probably doing what I was doing when we were hiking because I couldn't make it, right? Sitting there.
Resting.
There was no room. And I didn't want to vomit on the trail. I wanted to vomit over the mountain. So I had to get like behind this guy. So I basically just put my hand on his shoulder and my other hand on the other side of the bench so that I could get past him, but also not fall over the mountain. And I threw up for, I don't know, no less than 6 times.
Did the guy say anything? Did he react?
He said nothing. He did nothing. He pretended like I wasn't there. If you're that guy, if we get popular enough and you end up listening to this dude, if you were that dude on the bench in Missoula, Montana in 2007, 8, 9, I'm sorry. And you were so cool. Like the grace you gave me, man. Like I didn't expect him to rub my back or anything, but I thought, oh man, are you all right? Nothing. And I don't want him to do that. I just want to be ashamed and walk away. You did the most graceful thing you could have possibly done, which was just pretend like it didn't happen. And I thank you, sir. You looked like a gem.
Did he even look away?
He was looking this way, right? So he's sitting here. My hand is like this. I'm behind him. So
Oh, okay.
he's looking the opposite way of my trajectory, if you will. So yeah, that's my hiking story. That's why I hate hiking. I don't understand it. We could have just walked. I know it's my fault. I underestimated hiking as a thing. I know that.
I guess Pam did too because she expected you to be out drinking all night and then up spry for a hike the next morning.
Oh, did my military friend who's obsessed with CrossFit have a problem? No. No, she didn't.
No, but she knew what to expect for you,
And
right?
she didn't. Just like you didn't when you decided for a moderate hike in Boulder, Colorado. It's in the name, bitch. We do hiking here. So if it's moderate, it's really fucking hard.
That's true.
So what were we supposed to talk about today?
We were supposed to do questions.
Do you have them?
Yes.
What kind of questions? And the goal of this is connection.
Is it?
I think it should always be.
I thought it was just to see if anything funny or stupid came out of it.
It's called connection. What are you, stupid? Yeah, that's how we connect. Or have you met us?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We teased in the last podcast with the question, would you rather be intelligent or beautiful?
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure my response was this means that the other extreme is true also. So if I'm extremely intelligent, that means I'm extremely ugly. Or am I
Yeah,
moderately?
I
Because I think that
think
matters. Because
for sure.
I will certainly be extremely intelligent and moderately good looking. But I'm sorry, but there is such thing as pretty girl privilege, okay? And I want some of it. Like just no, I don't need a bunch of it, right? I just can't I don't want to look unfortunate because I think life is just so much harder that way. But okay, so is the question two extremes? If I'm extremely intelligent, I'm extremely ugly. If I'm extremely beautiful, I am extremely dumb. That's the question.
Yes, because otherwise it's a no-brainer.
Is it? Because I might choose to be super beautiful and moderately intelligent.
All right, fine, we'll do both.
Okay. I don't think that on any day I would choose to be extremely intelligent.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
I think that lends to an entirely new level and paradigm of understanding the world that I don't want to be burdened with. Honestly, I would put myself in the moderate in right now in the intelligence. I don't think I'm highly intelligent and I don't think I'm a dum dum. I'm somewhere in the moderate and that's fine. I function fine and I understand plenty. I don't want to understand anymore. Like I'm good. And I think the more intelligent, the more layers of that, it puts you on a different playing field socially also. I also very much value my ability to connect with people, connect with, okay, you're looking at me like I'm crazy. Okay. Every highly intelligent person I've ever met has not been able to connect socially very well because they're living in a different understanding of the world, right? They're living in a different, like, perspective of everything because there's just so much that creates their, and they're so factual a lot of times also that they miss nuance and emotional intelligence that's really important to me. So I know I'm getting really in the weeds because this was supposed to be a question, this or that, but I think there are major implications to being too intelligent, at least from what I've seen.
But super intelligent doesn't mean you can't be emotionally intelligent or street smart also. And I think that super beautiful people are going to have challenges connecting with people too. Imagine the girl relationships that you're going to have as the most beautiful woman in the world. I bet you run into some obstacles trying to make friends.
Okay, but I don't think so. And here's why. Because for every one of those people, there's five more. Okay? And they're all in the same circle and they all have the same husband and they all have the same
Oh, yeah,
lifestyle.
but I
Like, and let me just, so if I'm making this
okay, I
right,
guess I'm saying like Those aren't friends that I would want.
But yeah, but what you have to understand is in this choice, you're changing your consciousness. So, like, you're no longer Fran who wants to have good conversations. You're asking yourself, how do I want to walk through the world? Right? Because if I've chosen to be super fucking hot, but super fucking dumb, I'm obviously not myself. So, which reality do I want to walk through the world with? Definitely that one. The experience of a beautiful woman who's a dum dum. Okay. The outcomes are still really fucking good for that bitch. And she doesn't have to fucking think. And she doesn't have to know anything except how to spend money. No.
Yeah.
I'm good. If I have to choose how to walk through the world, it's not going to be curing cancer. It's going to be on a fucking yacht with Cristal coming down my throat.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, life is hard. So if I get to choose it, I'm going to choose the easy one. I'm going to choose the easy one. And that's how I feel right now.
I think you just
I
swayed
think
me.
I think maybe a better answer, if I want to be a better person, would be like, obviously extremely intelligent and really ugly, so I could put myself in a cave and cure cancer. But no,
I was thinking incredibly intelligent because then at least I could be like Elon Musk and put in billions of dollars and make myself look moderately attractive.
I didn't think about the practical part of that. I wonder by the time you got to the point of having enough money to fix it, if you'd be irreparably damaged by growing up ugly.
Possibly.
I don't think he's ugly. I mean, he's not cute.
What's funny is for somebody to talk so much shit about gender affirming care and then to have used so much gender affirming care. Are you looking it up? Did you find him?
Yeah.
He had no hair.
He's still not okay. All right. Not he's still not how ugly you would be in this scenario. Like
Oh,
extremely ugly. I'm thinking like malformed nearly. What is that? How extreme are we going?
I didn't say like the baby Ruth guy. The Goonies. I'm not talking about
Oh my
he.
god. You are ridiculous. Absolutely
This, yeah,
ridiculous.
look, this takes money, dude. To go from
No,
this
no,
to
no, no, no,
this
yeah, no. I
takes
saw
money.
exactly I saw a lot of those. I think that this question is making us uglier than that. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
Because if that's my
that's true.
choice, like I could be a little bit of a dork. He's just a dork. Like he's not cute,
Yeah.
but he's a dork. Whatever. Put a hat on. He just looks like every other Denver bro. It's not no.
He spent a lot of money to what? Become like a six? Oh,
Young,
that's the point. You swayed my mind because I'm a woman. I wasn't thinking about this from a woman's perspective.
but you are a woman.
If I was a man, I would totally take all the money.
Yep.
And there's
Yep.
I that would be okay. But as a woman, I need to take all the looks. You're right.
Isn't that crazy? Shitty.
Yeah.
Shitty.
So shitty. Yeah.
Yep.
And I say money because I'm equating intelligence to money.
Money. Not with a woman. Not always.
No,
If you're highly intelligent, like
I'm
you
gonna
probably
figure out a way to make
yeah,
this
you'll
money.
you'll figure out a way to make money. But yeah, it'll be harder and it's not guaranteed and it's not Elon Musk type shit because
Yeah.
we still have the resources we have to start with and we're women, which is go a lot further with fucking looks. So here's the thing. I actually just had this conversation about pretty girl privilege and another episode. I'll just say it conceptually. So like pretty girl privilege, at least from my perspective, like in dating, if someone has walked through the world with all the physical and aesthetic privilege that had people falling over them, that's what you think the world is like. If you never have to pay for a meal or open your own door or work hard to get attention at work, you just think that's how the world works. That is your reality, unless it's like ugly duckling, where you grow up in an awkward place and then you're beautiful later on, right? I think, not that I'm not calling myself beautiful, but I'm definitely better looking as I get older than I was. But I think that's a pretty unique experience. If you're just beautiful and all your life is just people just wanting to do things for you, and then you get into a place later in life and you're like, oh, I want something real, the foundation of that is still there. Like in the things that you expect within a relationship. I know when I was dating women who were incredibly good looking, just expected so much. And I don't even mean like monetarily. I just mean of my time, of my attention, just everything in my life should be about them. And I'm like, no. And I don't know. It's not all pretty women. I don't think it's the people that I was dating were thinking like that I owe them that or whatever. I think they just think that's how everything works. And there's not always a lot coming back. And this is extreme beauty, though. I'm not saying that everybody who is good looking feels this way, but I've only been out with only a couple like really good looking women that this would even be a thing, but it's a thing. It was for, in my experience anyway. But for me, I think I need more in partnerships and relationships than I think they're used to having to give. Because what they're giving and what is so valued is their looks. And that isn't as valuable to me as kindness and gentleness and grace and nurturing and beauty. You have to have more than just that. And I think they've never actually had to develop a lot of that because their looks got them so far. And kind of a superficiality that's very attractive. Why did we start talking about that?
This is the question.
Oh, yeah.
It's really beautiful or
Because of the questions. See, the questions are working. Should we do another question?
all right.
Or is there more to talk about? Or do you have
No.
anything you want to say? Why am I always the one talking so much? I'm not even answering.
This one seems pretty obvious for me.
What is it?
Which movie or TV show do you quote most often?
Friends?
Definitely.
Oh, that's what it was? Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. What
Yeah,
is
me
that
too, I
for
think.
you?
It has to be.
I think.
It has to be for both of us. My cousin Vinny, a lot.
Definitely not for me because I've never seen it. But you and Andy quote it to me all the time, so I feel like I've seen it.
That's fair. It's fair. There's a biological clock, and there's a lot of this and a lot of that in that movie, and I love it.
It's okay. I make lamb. I've never seen your big fat Greek wedding or whatever the hell it is, but I know that line from that
Because of
movie.
me. Because of me. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I don't even know how that line comes
It's
up so
okay.
many times.
I make them. Because of your dietary restrictions. Okay. So there's always another fucking dietary restriction with you. So
That's true.
it's vegetarian, I'm vegan, I'm keto. I don't know. I can't keep up. Grain free, dairy free. It's fine. So I in the movie, he was like, I'm a vegetarian, I don't eat meat. And she goes, it's okay. I make lamb. Like lamb is not a meat, and that's what makes it funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's how it comes up all the time. I don't remember quoting that movie very much, but I believe it. So my cousin Vinny, apparently my Greek wedding, and Ellen DeGeneres stand-ups. Those are and Friends. Those are definitely my 3, 4.
I remember the Go-Gurt.
Go-gurt.
And then I had to go
yogurt
and
with
watch.
people on the go? How time consuming is it really? It's timing out. There are jokes in it that make no sense anymore, and it sucks so bad because they barely made sense then, but it was funny because we got it. And now, like this generation, they're just not gonna get it. Do you remember Nokia phones? They were so loud when they rang and had no volume control back then. It was just obnoxious, and they were going off all over the place. And there was a whole bit, and she was like, delete, and she just was looking for her phone, making this obnoxious noise for a full 30 seconds. It was so funny because that's exactly what we had experienced as kids when we first started using cell phones. And it's just now. Ugh. I know. And she talked about the cord, the kitchen cord that wrapped around everything because you were on the phone for 6 hours with your friends and your ear was burning off. Like those experiences are like gone. It's crazy.
Kids would not know that nowadays.
And I know half that is gone. They're not going to ever watch that and go, oh, that's hilarious. What does that mean?
Yeah, that's true.
Anyway, those are my quotable things for sure.
I think Friends is mine. I can't think of anything else.
Pivot. I was watching an interview with David Schwimmer. And
Yeah.
one of the questions was, what are things that fans say to you the most? He was like, people just scream pivot at me all of the time. I was
I
like,
could imagine.
of course they do. That was by far the best scene in any sitcom ever. There just wasn't a better scene that I've ever seen. Like I it's so stupid. And they have a lot
It
of
was
those like
great.
iconic scenes. Like
Yeah.
the one where Jen like I know them. Jen Aniston. Rachel was scared because she thought that Ross had fallen down the stairs and that was actually a real scene that they kept in.
Yeah, where they
The
threw the
dummy.
dummy that looks like Ross. Yeah.
Yeah. And she thought it was real and that reaction was genuine.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was like a whole iconic thing too.
There's so much in that show.
Does it
Uh,
bother you now that Friends is like problematic in some ways now? A lot of what they did wouldn't pass.
I don't know the series that I've rewatched a couple times, and I'm like, Sex and the City.
Oh yeah.
I've
It's
watched,
bad. I watched it
yeah,
again recently. You're right. I had the same thoughts. I was like, what? Yeah,
some,
you're right.
I can't even think of any of them right now. I'll have to start rewatching it again.
Yep.
But
I'm sure I
I
went through
can't
the
even think
same
of
thing.
when that show started. Let's
Ooh.
see, 98. I would have been 17. Wow. Holy shit. I don't like
Yeah, you don't like them.
the new series either. They're just so rich and hoity and toity and shit now.
You
It's
know,
not.
and
Oh, and the whole Miranda turning into a lesbian makes her a complete cunt thing? Did they have to do that? Could she not have been a lesbian in a better way?
uh-huh.
Okay. All right. Go
I
ahead.
know. I know. Okay. You know the character that just wanted to jump through the screen was Charlotte is insufferable as a human. And I'm like, how? Because I thought she was cute and charming and fine and whatever when I was young. And now I'm listening to her. I'm like, you are what's wrong with women everywhere. You are the exact example of perpetuating misogyny in a way that I want to punch you in the fucking throat. I hate that character now. I was not this person, I guess. If you were 17, then I was even younger than that. I remember we had HBO. My mom and dad watched that show and we watched it and I loved it and it was hilarious and it was way too sexy for a kid, but whatever. I really enjoyed it and I loved her. I thought she was just fabulous and sweet and wanted all the right things. And now I'm like, you are an insufferable cow. I can't even.
Yeah.
The need for a man was like, I wanted to choke on it for the entirety of the first few seasons when I rewatched
Yeah.
it.
At
Insufferable.
least there was the complete opposite of that with Miranda and
Yeah.
Samantha. But it was
And,
like they made them a workaholic or a whore. So it's like,
and eventually a lesbian. So,
right.
and then the whole episode where like she asked a lesbian to pretend to be her girlfriend.
That was
Remember with her
early
boss?
too. And then she just kisses her in the elevator just to see.
No, let me tell you something. Okay, let me say something to you. Okay, and this was true even back then. Lesbians are not cool with being tried on for
Yeah.
fit. We're not cool with that. We really want you to have an understanding of your identity and who you are and who you're attracted to and who you want, how you want to walk through the world before you fuck with us. And honestly, that whole scene was really fucking annoying. I remember watching it back then and thinking it was funny, right?
Yeah,
Because,
me too.
and I wasn't gay. I was a kid. I'm not gay. I'm gonna wake up and go to fucking Catholic school the next day. I am not gay at that time. And I thought it was funny. Oh, ha, ha, ha. And maybe even a little gross, honestly, when they kissed. So I'm not kidding. I'm not, isn't this nuts? It's nuts. And watching a show like that kind of puts you back in time. And you start to realize who you were back when you were watching it. Whoa. Whoa. I'm so glad you said that. I forgot about that experience until just now.
I rewatch shows a lot. And I recently read something that says it's kind of a stress reliever because you already know what's going to happen. There's no suspense. You're not pent up like, oh my God, what's going to happen next?
Totally. Yeah. I always have one of those going. Just the thing I put on when I'm not actually watching, but I want background. because I'm home alone and maybe feel a little lonely or whatever, it'll always be like How I Met Your Mother or Friends. Monk is another one that I would put on the background.
I've never seen Monk.
It is just so charming and cute. I don't know. You
Yeah.
don't, and it's simple enough that you can just like tune in at like seconds to watch some. You know, cute. So Pam does Seinfeld. I don't feel that way about Seinfeld.
I
I don't.
love
I don't.
Seinfeld. I was not a Seinfeld person at all. I had seen like clips here and there throughout my life and thought it just looked stupid and not my thing. And then when Andy and I got together, he was like, let's just watch the first season and then you decide if you want to keep going or not. And sure enough, I fucking fell in love. It's actually a really funny show.
Yeah, it is funny. It's just I wouldn't call it relaxing for me because I haven't seen all of it. I haven't seen all the content, and I find it really fast. I find their humor very fast. Like, I love that. Like when I'm in tune, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
it's all very. I don't know, and that's the you.
Yeah.
It's actually a boring show if you're not in to recognize the nuance of some of the humor. To me, so I have to actually be watching it. It doesn't relax. It feels annoying if I'm not tuned in. There's
I can
just
see that.
so much happening. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Kramer's obnoxious and the dialogue is quick, but I've seen Friends so many times that even if it is an interesting scene, I'm like, oh, one can quote what's about to happen.
Right? I can play out in my head what just happened and is about to happen.
Which is really great when I can't sleep because I just listen to it and I can be watching it without actually having to watch it, so I don't get the screen.
Me too. I guess I take it back. That question did take us into a conversation.
Anything will take us
We
into
can talk about anything.
Yeah, and there's always a fucking story.
Who do you think will be playing on Oldies radio in 30 years? I don't know.
Let's get the year in our heads. So the year 2055.
Oh, I don't want to do that.
Okay, so in 2055, in 30 years, we'll be in our 60s. I'll be in my 60s.
I'm trying to think.
You're gonna be in your 70s.
We're in 2025 now. What's playing on Oldies right now that came out like 30 years ago? Is that what I'm trying to do?
What?
What do I need to do right
First of
now?
all, that's amazing. Let's just say you and I are 70 years old, and we are listening. Apparently, there's still radio. What's on the oldies station?
It's like 70s music? 80s?
Did you just say 70s and 80s music is oldies? Did you?
50s?
Is that what's considered oldies? I see.
don't
Okay,
know.
when I think oldies, to me, I'm thinking like 40s. I'm thinking like Frank Sinatra. I'm thinking like
That sort of makes it a genre to me. So then like the 70s is a genre, then the 80s, then the 90s, then
yeah,
so
type.
so I think the question is really
No,
asking
because
like
I think I mean because even if it moves forward at a slower pace than you think, like so if we're thinking the oldies right now is from the 40s, and I think it's 40s, that's when they were out, right? Hang on. I don't know. Yeah. 40s and 50s. That's Sinatra. And so with Sinatra goes all the other guys.
the Rat Pack.
Yeah, all that. And so that was in the 40s and 50s. So how many years ago was that?
75?
So if our conceptualization of oldies is something that was about 70 years old, okay, so then in 30 years, what would 70 years old be?
It would be like 1980s music.
There you go. That's your answer.
All right.
If we're using
Bon Jovi
timeline
and
we
shit.
use now.
Gotcha. Okay.
So
I don't know.
then 70s
Works
and
for me.
80s will be oldies then. So you were right.
Look at that.
Look at that.
Had to do all that math, and all you really had to say, Christina, was Francis, you're right.
Yeah, no, I need to know how you got there. I want to see the math.
Give me the long math.
The right answer and the multiple choice without showing your work.
You gotta show the work.
I need to see the formulas that you use to get there. I can get on that. I'm with that.
Yeah.
So
do that.
when we are 70 years old, the oldies on the radio will be Bon Jovi, Eagles, Elton John, Nina
The
Simone,
Rolling
Rolling
Stones,
Stones. Yeah.
Aerosmith. I can get down on some of that shit. Beatles. Beatles will probably still be playing.
That'll be a big one. And I think the hardest thing about that is when it becomes that, only the most popular songs are on, right? So you actually lose a ton of the time frame. And I actually
Yeah.
really like some of like 70s more obscure music. So like I
Yeah.
think that's the real importance of like actually collecting like music over time.
No, for sure. For Aerosmith, they're going to be playing that fucking terrible song that's on the Armageddon soundtrack. Ugh.
Yep.
It's like
Yep.
one of their worst songs, but that's the one they always play on the radio.
Oh, yeah. Queen, I think, will be big. What other like
Yep.
major 70s like
Ooh, my favorite. I didn't even think of my favorite band, Led Zeppelin.
that's your favorite band of all time?
Yeah.
What?
I don't know. The Rolling Stones is creeping up there, though. But I mean, like, of all time, meaning spans every genre. If there was only one band I could listen to forever.
It's Led Zeppelin. I couldn't even tell you a song that they sing.
Seriously? Kashmir is probably my favorite Led Zeppelin song, or Houses of the Holy. Something weird about Led Zeppelin, though, because they're dirty, though, sometimes. And then I
They are?
imagine they'll say shit like, I'm your backdoor man. And I always grew up singing like the song and didn't know what that meant. And now I'm like, oh, that always catches me off guard. And then I remember my mom jamming out to it. And I'm like, I know she knew what that shit meant.
That might be
So now it just messes with
yeah.
me psychologically.
Fair. That's fair.
Motown?
Yeah, I guess that spans like both. But I think that we'd be remiss to not say Temptations, the Supremes, like all that has to
Yeah.
be on that oldie station.
Marvin
Um,
Gaye.
Marvin Gaye.
All the Jacksons, even your favorite, Janet.
I love Janet. Okay? And she got a raw deal with that Super Bowl. Got a real raw deal. Okay?
Did you see they made like a documentary about that?
No.
I don't know if it was very big or not, but they were this.
Have you ever seen her live?
No,
So
no.
fucking good. And my girl, shout out Kachi Christie, took me to Janet Jackson concert for my birthday.
Aw,
And it was brilliant. Did I tell you that I have a Janet Jackson blazer?
like with all the. Oh, look at
Like
you.
Rhythm Nation. And I
Yeah.
worked the other day and everybody was like, girl, you're giving Rhythm Nation. I was totally Janeting. I was Janeting. I have a picture of it. Do you want to see it?
Uh huh.
Or I can just
Do.
go put it on. I can just go put it on.
Okay.
I knew I liked it. I liked the blazer and I couldn't figure out why. I didn't buy it because it was Rhythm Nation looking, but then I went around at work and I was like, like trying to do do you know what I'm talking about? The dance that she does. Okay. Anyway. And I haven't worn it again because I hate when people like comment on my clothes because then I feel like they're going to remember it when I wear it again.
Oh yeah, so you have to wait a
So much,
while. So
yeah. There's so much commentary on it that I'm like, I can never wear it again.
I only go to the office 3 days a week, so I wear the same three like pairs of slacks and then just change my shirt all the time.
Okay, I must have deleted it, but I'll go get it if you really want to see it. If you care that much.
It's up to you.
I don't, I'll go get it if you want to see it. You're going to make this decision. It's yours to
Go get
make.
it. I would like to see it. Go get it.
I can't hear you. You're on mute.
Oh my goodness. It is. It is so Rhythm Nation.
It is, I think it's like literally might be the jacket that she was wearing. I don't even know.
Right?
So there's a mix up of styles here. So give me some grace if you're watching this. But I would wear this with probably like a mock neck black. Yeah. Whatever. And not
I like the hat.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Only for you.
And all of you. All right, let's see. What food combination do people eat that you just can't get behind? For example, dipping French fries in Frosties. P.S. I love that shit.
Slamming. Slamming.
Thank you. It is so good.
No doubt. No
I don't know
doubt.
why anyone would be against that. I don't know. They say it for
As an
example, like it
example.
would be a
That's
bad
not an
thing. Yeah.
example. That's a universal connection point. I don't know why you're trying to drive wedges between us. Question
Yeah.
website. No.
Oh, in or not high school. Yeah, it was high school. A girl spent the night and we had vanilla ice cream and this bitch pulls out ketchup.
Shut up.
Uh-uh.
Shut up.
I was like, get the fuck out of... No, I was just kidding. I didn't tell her, but...
Who the fuck do you think?
Bitch, you can't stay here. You gotta go.
You better go find another friend. I don't know.
Oh my god. Vanilla ice cream with ketchup. Like it was like fucking chocolate syrup or something. Said it was delicious and wanted me to try it. No. No,
Did
bitch.
you smell it?
I hate you.
Wait, okay. So, hang on a second. Did she actually think it was good, or was she just fucking
Yeah.
with you?
No, she
No.
ate that whole shit. She liked it.
What? Like in front
No.
of you?
Yeah. Yeah. And did it just, it was like a normal thing. Like I wasn't gonna fucking side eye her and be like, what are you doing? It was just
Okay, who was this? Do I know this person?
no, this was in this was in Texas, if that helps explain anything.
Sure does. Sure does.
What? But she was ruining Bluebell, dude. That shit's good.
I don't know that I ever had it.
Bluebell
That
vanilla ice
okay.
cream is
See, that's just
delicious.
weird though. I don't even know that that's like a combination you can't get with. That's just fucking weird. It, I can't get with most. I can't get with most things that are like alternative. I try
Hmm. I
meat,
mean,
alternative meat,
oh,
for example.
have you had Gardein brand?
See, this is what happens. This is what happens. No,
Every
this is this guy. See, no, see, no, just stop. See, just hang on to it.
I'm gonna give you a list of all the ones that are good. You go and try them.
Nope, just hang on to it, Franny. Hey, no, Beyond,
Beyond's
whatever.
terrible.
Oh,
Beyond was
yeah,
terrible.
yeah,
Oof.
and the other one equally terrible. I don't know the other one. I'm okay to eat beef. I'm cool. It's fine. I don't do it very often, so when I do, I'll do it. That's fine. I don't need that. I don't get it. I don't get it. Although I have been getting with like tofu. I ain't gonna lie.
I
Because
love tofu.
honestly, it's not even a compromise. That shit just tastes like cheese. It's good as fuck. I'm not mad. I'm not mad at eating tofu and thinking it tastes like cheese. And it does sometimes if you get it in the right place. I'm just saying.
Tofu is one of those things where really it can take on any flavor that you want it to. So,
But it has the consistency of cheese. Love that shit.
yeah.
It's the
And I
best.
like it super crispy on the outside and then just nice and soft on the inside. It's great.
In any Asian meal, that shit is
Yeah.
what's up.
Yes.
That shit is what's up. It just soaks up all of that flavor.
Huh?
Tastes like that flavored cheese. I'm about it. I'm about the tofu. But that's because it tastes good, and that's fine. But I don't like to compromise taste for these trends. And I don't know that I don't know that it's trend. I know that it's alternative, it's healthier. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. But
I don't know that they're healthier. That's questionable
so
with a lot of these.
so people are eating it by choice?
Well, to
Why?
not eat an animal is
Yeah,
the choice.
but it's already dead. It's right next to the Beyond Burgers. It's dead already. It's
But
fucking dead
less
already.
demand means less
Don't,
animals are going to
don't.
be killed.
Just eat
Over
beef less.
time.
It's bad for you.
What?
Eat more chicken. Eat more
No.
turkeys because apparently we're allowed to eat those without people getting mad about it.
What? No.
No.
What kind of, not people that care about animals in general. They're going to be mad
We
about all animals.
we care about eating chickens as much as we care about the way that beef is raised and all of that? I feel like that's a bigger no.
I guess it's a personal choice thing for everyone. I, if you're asking me personally, I would say the main problem is that we just have too much of a demand for meat. And so then the conditions in which the animals have to be raised, I guess we'll say, is terrible because they need to overcrowd them. Have you ever seen like the fucking things where all the chickens are in there? There's hundreds of thousands of chickens all on top of each other and shitting on each other, and there's dead ones underneath, and you don't even know because you can't even see them. And that's because we just want to eat so much chicken. If we could eat less chicken, then there could be less chickens in there, and then they could have more space, and it could be a more normal sort of situation.
I think that might be a gross simplification of the problem. Like, I don't think it's, do they have to? Like, they have to have them that way? If they charged more for their eggs, would they have to do that? If they took less of a profit, would they have to do that? If their CEO was paid less, would they have to do that? If they're,
Oh, if you think the beginning answer is corporate greed, then yes, always.
that is the problem.
Yes. I
I'm
mean,
just
even
saying,
right
like,
now, when we're talking about the price of eggs being the price that they are, the egg industry just had the most profitable quarter they've ever had in history. So you can't blame that on inflation or fucking the shortage of eggs or anything because they profited. Like it didn't go to anything other than the company, and that came from the consumer. So
so I
stop
think,
buying your stupid fucking eggs.
so oh,
And
so what you're
then,
saying is the only power we have is demand. Is that what you're
yes,
saying? Okay,
yes.
got it. So if we all stop eating as much meat, it would impact the industry in a way that they'd have to maybe change and evolve. And that's the power we have.
And have
Okay.
less.
I don't
Yeah.
think it's the problem. I think it's I think having high demand of anything in a immoral capitalistic system, that's how we end up with one
I
of our
mean, the morality of the system and the morality of like animals and eating animals, two totally different things.
I think we could do the same thing more for the ethically sourced meat. Like it
Yeah, but that's not addressing like why vegans don't eat meat.
but that was the
But
why don't
your question in the beginning was, why do we even
Right. Well,
have
now I
this?
don't even
It's
know why
right
vegans
next.
don't eat meat. I figure they just don't eat meat for health reasons. I don't
No,
know.
because they don't want to eat an animal. They don't
Fine.
think a sentient being should die for their sustenance.
And I respect that.
Yeah.
That's not my perspective on it. And I think that Beyond Burgers taste like shit. Just
I agree
how
with that.
this started. Okay.
I do agree with that.
First of
Yeah.
all, okay, but here's the thing. If enough, okay, vegans notwithstanding, because I don't know that this conversation is about vegans necessarily. I think this conversation is about, or for me, I thought it was about like I don't even know what it was about. You brought it into the ethical piece of it. And so I'm wondering, do
I was
you
just saying that stuff will still need to exist because people
think
are
that
going to
if,
need alternatives.
yes, I'm not, and the argument wasn't that we don't need alternatives. The argument was that they taste like shit. And
Not all of them, just the shitty one you tried.
I'm saying that I don't understand it. For me,
Yeah.
I don't understand why I would do that because I have no ethical problem with eating well-sourced meat.
Okay.
And what's really interesting is I wonder if we could actually, just because you started the conversation, I'm wondering if we could actually make a much bigger impact if we just had a movement for not vegans, but people who want for the industry to be more ethical in order for us to feel better about engaging in eating meat, since we have incisors to do exactly that biologically. So, like, I'm thinking if we had a movement that said, if we sourced meat this way, we are all committed to paying more for
Yeah.
that. Like, and I think we do it with eggs. We do it with eggs.
I
I
personally do it with eggs and all of my meat.
Except me, well, me too. But I think enough of us are doing it for eggs that we're actually seeing, and maybe it's just in Colorado, right? But there's actually a ton of like free range and like tours and visits and yeah, and like they're expensive, and but you can source them like at that farm even. Like
Yeah.
I think that if enough of us, I don't know that I don't know that talking about the morality of eating an animal in a world that is
Gonna always eat
right. It
animals.
just it. I don't know. Even as a therapist, I'm a harm reduction therapist, not an abstinence. I
And
think
that's
I think
my
it
point. I don't
totally.
think this world is ever gonna stop eating animals, but I think we could eat a lot less meat and we
I
would all
think
be a lot healthier for
yeah,
it too.
and I think we could
Like,
be
just,
much more responsible about it.
yes,
I totally agree with that.
the sourcing for sure.
I think our culture, maybe until recently, because I'm seeing a shift, but I feel like our culture almost feels like you're not eating completely without an animal protein. Like
Yeah.
the meal isn't, and that's how I was raised, right? Like it was protein, vegetable, grain, like on my plate. My mother made sure of that, right? That was how she most of the time. And that's how I grew up. If there wasn't a slab of chicken or whatever on my like I'm like, where's my protein? I think culturally we got there here
Hmm.
in the US. And I think we're seeing a movement away from it. And I don't tofu, I never even knew what that was until maybe 10 years ago. I don't
Yeah.
even yeah.
But even you can look at a burger and it's two patties and four slices of bacon and an egg. And okay, we're not even talking about protein anymore. Now you've got 2 pounds of protein on your burger.
Oh, well, if we want to talk about American excess, Jesus. We don't even have to talk about beef for that. That's just our portions are fucking absurd. Our
Yeah.
like it's just
Yeah.
Costco as a concept, right? Like it's
Don't
insane.
shit on Costco.
No, I love them as an organization. As a concept, it is the definition of excess, right?
Yeah.
It's just it's crazy to me. And only now that I'm eating the way that I am, do I even look at food that
And realize what a
way.
portion is. When I started weighing my food so that I could log it, I was like, oh shit. You gotta be kidding me. Why do they make this a serving? There's no fucking way that could be a serving.
I know. And the only way to not have to deal with that, and this is what I'm doing, is just eat shit you can eat as much of as you want. That's what I do. I eat as much kale and carrots and berries and fruit, and I just eat all day long. And then sometimes I'll eat chicken.
You're a forager.
That's
You're
yeah.
like an old school forager.
And it's great. And I'm never hungry. My body really enjoys like just being fed the good shit. And maybe I shouldn't. When we were in Austin, I sat there and I just ate 2 cucumbers. It was good. I don't care.
Yeah.
I just wanted to.
Yesterday, Oliver and I snacked on one of the biggest carrots I've ever seen in my life.
You didn't send me a picture. Were they scissoring this time?
They weren't scissoring. You gotta find that picture and send it to me. So we went to the market yesterday.
Are you going to tell them about your scissoring carrots?
Oh, I don't even know what I was doing with the carrots, but
A Photoshop.
I
What?
bought some carrots and they had,
Where did you get them
um,
from?
I don't know, the market. So they're like the organic just came out of the yard. They're not pretty. They're not going to make it to the grocery store. And they had like two ends and there was two of them. So
So
I,
what?
so I put them bitches together and sent them to Christina. Send me the
Uh,
picture of the scissoring carrots.
can I, if I send it to you, can you put it up here?
Uh-huh.
Can you?
Hmm.
That has to be a
Yeah,
hashtag, scissoring carrots.
scissoring carrots.
Um,
But yeah, so we went to the market yesterday. It's in our neighborhood, but it's like a 20-minute drive to get there. It's one of the farms out here. They have a market every Saturday, and there's a local ranch that comes to the market. You can't just go there and get the meat. You go there, you tell them what you want, and then next week they'll bring the meat that you ordered.
and is it like amazing?
Yeah. Once you go the first week and you place your order, then you just keep going every weekend. You pick up your meat, you place your order for your next week, and they
I
keep
fucking love
doing that
that.
thing.
I know that
Yeah.
we can do that here. I just haven't found so we have like ranches and shit that you can like go get meat, like egg
Yeah.
farm, you can like go get eggs. But I don't know that there's like a single like market. Maybe I'm sure there is. I haven't looked hard enough. And there's always
Probably.
yeah.
There
And there's
probably
always
is.
like actual markets like here. Like now that it's spring, markets are gonna be every weekend. So I'll
Yeah.
probably be able to find all that there.
Yeah.
Let's do it that way.
So that's how it's just a local ranch. And you know that they're not over farming their meat because of their system. Like you have to order a week in advance because they are only going to butcher the meat that's being ordered. They're really
Yeah.
only supplying the demand they have. So,
I really like that concept. And if we can actually lean into that, do we have to go into the conversation about privilege though? And that's why I think it all backs up to corporate greed and how they're subsidized and how it's incentivized to do what they're doing. What are the incentives to create ethical farming? If the sole goal is to feed the masses, they're going to do that as cheaply and as unethically as it takes to do so, right? It's not until we can fix corporate and capitalist greed. I know that's ridiculous as a thought, even that could be a thing, but like it truly is the root of all of it. If we could be ethical about anything, imagine if we were ethical about everything. We paid people what they deserved. We created policy that took care of people even if they look different. We did, if we come on, like we're not doing any like we don't live in that world. And it's I don't know. It's fucking exhausting. And I have the privilege to sit here and say, let's just go to farms and get eggs and yeah, all right, single mom that lives wherever with 3 kids and fuck 1 kid, dude. Honestly, it's like
and I agree. I absolutely agree. But at the same time, I think doing that is also helping them because, like I said before, really the only power that we have is to give those corporations less money. Those people have to give them their money because that's the only place they can afford. I can afford to pay more and go to the farmer's market and give my local ranch more money. So I'm going to give my small local business more money. So if the people that are privileged enough don't continue to spend
like
their money with the large corporations, that's still going to hurt them.
yeah, like I completely agree with that. I think when we're talking solution though, it almost always hurts the people who need this system to function with greed to survive. Does that make sense? Go ahead.
How does that hurt them though?
No, it doesn't. I believe it's our responsibility as people with privilege to do what we can to hurt the corporations. Not even hurt, that's the wrong. Like,
What, use our dollar as our voice sort of thing.
right,
We'll say
right.
that.
Use our dollar as our voice. Yeah, like, I do believe that. And I appreciate, I think, the delineation that you're making right now is actually saying, no, we need to do that. And these people need to continue to benefit from capitalism in the way that brings prices down. I think that's true, 1,000%. I don't think there's enough of us for that to be a solution, I think is my point. So I think the entire system is built the way that it is so that there aren't enough of us to make an impact on that so that they can continue to do what they're doing. I do feel like I have that responsibility to make even a small impact, but I also think that this system is built in unethical behavior and labor. And I don't know until we change that there's any actual sustainable solution um, to any of it. Is that like the most depressing fucking perspective on the planet?
Yes. But
Yeah.
I think it's only one even depressing perspective because even you said subsidies and I call it corporate welfare because people don't think
That's what it
of
is.
it like that. They think subsidies, oh, government funded kind of thing, but it's more of a welfare.
Taking taxes
People,
from people to fund business.
and often businesses that don't need it,
Most often.
or businesses that they think will drive some sort of,
Interest.
um, yeah,
Insert elections. Insert that is exactly what the problem is. Just took us through.
yeah. We can do a whole
Money and politics.
That, money
Yeah.
in politics, corporate welfare, we could do a whole episode on that. But
I'm down.
if you want to get back into politics, we can
No,
do it.
we're not going to get back into politics because I look like an asshole every time we do it. Every time. There.
No,
Oh yeah, you don't
not
care
just
because
you.
you're miss. If we just hug more, we'll be fine. And you,
No,
bitch, I like listen. I really miss the days when you were as angry about this shit as I was. Okay, like
I feel like I was angry all those too.
we were both angry, and then you started. But we need conversation. I'm like, no, we need more hate and divisiveness. Ugh, I know you're right. I know you've been right this whole fucking time. Okay, and I'm making connections, and I feel good, and I get it now. But it really politics, okay?
It is tough
Injustice.
though.
It's injustice that gets me. It's like it's systematic injustice. It's like you're this is not a mistake. This isn't accidental. This is evolution. This is
Very purposeful.
it was built and solidified and then oh, it's just see if I was just super fucking pretty, I wouldn't have to worry about any of this.
Right?
My husband would take care of everything.
You be out on a yacht, fucking not giving two shits about anything.
1000%. And he'll just be too old to have sex, and I'll sleep with women in the other room. This could have been my life. I'm just not. Yeah, I'm telling you. That's what I'm saying. Pretty and dumb. That's the best fucking life. Pretty and
Pretty and
dumb.
dumb. Fuck it.
It's
That's
like
what we should all wish for.
it's like there's this. I call it a bubble, right? It's and if your experience in the world and in life was so protected and privileged and beautiful and all the things like you don't see the world as it is because the world isn't that way. You have been essentially protected from all the things that hurt the rest of us, and it's hard to walk through the world with you, one, okay, but two, there's this bubble around you that protects you from the shit that hurts. And I just
Up your bubble.
for a second, just but I don't want to give it back because I actually care a lot about humans, and I actually like, oh, I'm so happy for you. I am so happy that you walk through the world and it doesn't hurt. That has to feel so good. But that's in my centered moments. My chakras are definitely aligned when I feel that because sometimes, girl, I'm like, "Ugh, girl, all that privilege is seeping out of your pores, and I'm gonna need you to just stop talking. Okay, I do feel
Yeah.
that way sometimes. Okay, but I'm growing. I'm evolving.
How much can people understand or even connect to it themselves if they don't know it? Like
But
if
why
they've
do you
never
want?
experienced it.
Why do you want to connect to it? Imagine your life if you never connected to the truth of how the world works. Imagine how good that life is. Just imagine it for a second.
No, I'm not saying they don't want to be in their bubble. I'm saying you're right in wanting to pop it a little bit because they need a little bit of that in to be able.
Yeah, I have days that I'm not sure that I want to pop it or that I just want one. And it might be
I
just
want
jealous.
to pop everyone's bubble.
I know you do, but think about it. If you were in a bubble, would you want to pop people's bubble? No, because you would just be in this beautiful bubble and life would just be this beautiful, I don't know. What is that movie with Jim Carrey?
Oh, Truman Show?
Truman Show.
We're all in, yeah.
We're all in the Truman Show.
Okay, but imagine we're in today's political climate and we're all in fucking bubbles. So no one's thinking, no one's doing anything, nothing's gonna happen until what? Till the fucking sky falls down? Because everyone was in their bubble doing nothing?
See, I don't want everybody to be in their bubble. I want influential people to be distinctly out of their bubble. I want to be in a bubble.
Oh, okay.
I want to be in a bubble, and I want everybody that I love to be in a bubble, and I want all of us to just live in this really big gay bubble. And you're invited though. And thanks. And Andy. But can you just imagine that bubble? Like we didn't. You never had to feel. You never had to know. You never had to. And we just live. We just live. And we think the world is good. We think the world is good to us.
Are we like as enlightened though? Or
No,
are we just naive?
You don't know that you're not. As a matter of fact, you are so convinced you are that you and your friend group believe that you know anything about anything and you believe it. So it's like, it's a new reality. It's a whole new reality. And so you don't need to know that you're not enlightened. You think that you are because
Okay.
because your husband told you so.
Great.
You can't. Oh shit.
Naive and quiet. All right.
Oh god. I know. Okay. I don't actually feel that way, which is really interesting.
No?
No, I mean no. See, I don't.
There are days, I'm sure, where you're just like, ah, I just wish I were in a fucking bubble right now.
You know what it is, actually? Like, I see the way I'll just. Oh, okay. Oh. Somebody
Okay.
I know who's close to me
Okay.
lives this way. It is none of my sisters because I know my sisters are the only ones that consistently watch. So, or consistently listen. None of you, I swear. Somebody that I know very close to me, not emotionally, but like familially, just lives in this bubble of what's important is my kids, because I'm supposed to feel that way. My nails and that they're presentable, and my hair and that my highlights aren't grown out because what would the neighbors think? That everybody around me thinks that I have a happy marriage. And if this doesn't work with this man, I have to find another man because what would they think if I'm a lady without a husband? Okay. So I sometimes do envy the idea that you wake up every day and you feel fulfilled because your nails are done. And because you went grocery shopping for the week enough to be able to make the meals for your husband. And I have friends, and we also talk about nails and being mothers and our kids being grown and whatever, right? Like life feels fulfilled. I don't care that this just happened to this person who's in my life. I don't give a shit that there's nothing except for this internal perspective of what's happening internally for me and my immediate vicinity. It's this it, I don't want to live that way because in the state in my brain now as sitting here as Christina, I don't want the people around me to think of me like this, like I'm describing, and I don't want to have the people around me feel like I'm not seeking to understand how they lived in the world. I want people around me to believe that I actually do care, that our experiences were probably vastly different in a myriad of ways, and that I want to know that. And I want to know that as a piece of connection, and I want to know that as a support. I want to know that as another human being. But like that also can hurt. It could be beautiful and wonderful, and I don't want to miss on those things. I think I'm answering my own question, which is really interesting right now. So I think that's why I don't want the bubble. I think that might be the only reason I don't want the bubble because I think in the way I'm describing this, it's such a superficial existence that your connections can't possibly feel significant. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. But I do look sometimes and I'm thinking, I would love to be fulfilled by just these simple things.
Well, see, we don't know that she feels fulfilled.
I can tell you, if you have a political conversation, that there's not a whole lot of understanding going there. I just mean the way that you view the world. Like your perspective is so narrow that it you watch the news and you go, or if you're even watching the news, I probably not, but if it happens to be on and something catastrophic is happening, like it'll be a surprise to you because your perspective is so narrow. Does that make sense?
Maybe she's just blissful, not fulfilled.
Ooh,
As
how is blissful defined?
I don't know, isn't ignorance bliss?
That's what I'm describing. That was
Right?
a really fucking easy way of saying something. I just spent like an hour trying to describe. So there's that. Ignorance is bliss.
Let me sum this up for you.
Who needs a podcast when you have Francis? Anyway, I have no idea how we got here.
What food combination do people eat? You just can't get behind.
Fran, this is the most. I don't know how we do this.
I don't
I don't
know.
know how we do this. This is crazy. We were meant to have a podcast. I don't know how we haven't thought of this before. Like, we just talk so much shit all the
Yeah.
time. It's amazing. And
We're ramblers.
we used to do it with beer.
Even
And
better.
I know. I miss it. My God, Pam and I had a conversation yesterday about going home to Florida.
Yeah.
And we were missing home.
Wait, just like for a visit or?
Okay, don't get your hopes up. We're not leaving.
Okay.
So let me just put that out there. We were missing home, so we went to a Cuban restaurant called Cuba, and there was Spanish music and Cuban food, and we were nostalgic. And we started talking about going home and what if we lived there, and how amazing would it be to like have us all in the same place, and how ridiculous it was that we had to kind of separate. I won't even say we. I had to separate to understand the significance and I valued all of you always, but like the significance of that in my life, I had to move away, I think, to recognize that because I hadn't accomplished all the shit that I needed to accomplish to even look outside of anything that wasn't my super narrow focus of like professional, whatever. So we had this conversation and I was like, but I really like living in the city. And I don't have to live in Denver, but like living in a city. And so she was like, all right, what about ABC? We can live downtown Fort Lauderdale. We can live in Miami. We can live in Tampa. We can live whatever. And none of them are the same. Florida doesn't have a city. It doesn't have a city like this. There is no city like this. And not even, you can go anywhere. Like Chicago is a city like this, or Atlanta is also whatever. But like, I didn't recognize how much I needed to be wrapped around people with people. Like I always lived in like suburbs and I always felt really isolated and lonely. Always. I am alone. I'm more alone now than I ever have been, and I feel more connected and good than ever before. I don't know if that's a me thing or if that's a Florida thing, and I'm really scared to go back. The geography of trauma is also really significant. And I don't know, not that I have a lot of trauma. It's just like the way that I felt, the way my body felt for so many years geographically in those places. I don't know that I can not feel that way again, at least at first. I love how I feel here. So we came to the conclusion that you need to move here, you and Christy. So if you guys can get on.
It's going to be difficult.
I don't know why. Just move.
Oh, yeah. Screw marriages and careers.
I
Who
mean,
needs it?
take them with you. Oh, so we took this picture in Cuba.
Oh, cute.
And I'm wearing a tank top for the first time in my life in public.
No, it looks good.
Ever. That's not true. But for the most part.
What about Boston? Boston's a great city.
Sure.
Can you deal with the cold?
No, it's a different cold. It'd be way worse in Boston than here. But yeah, I could deal with it.
Yeah? You think it's worse?
Oh, a coastal cold? So much worse. So much worse, so much more icy. The dry cold does make a difference. It does.
Okay.
But no, if I could get all of us to agree on a city to live in, I'll move anywhere as long as I can get a real city. Like, I just want a real city. So I remember going downtown to West Palm when I was in Florida, and I was like, this is not a downtown. It's like a Pleasantville. It's like
We have
it's
a
like
block of restaurants. Like
right.
We
Like,
call that downtown.
and then I was thinking, okay, Fort Lauderdale's bigger. It's actually similar. Del Rey, similar. It's all just like Retail?
Yeah, there's no
Not
city.
like it's yeah. Yeah, it's a conjured downtown. History. That's what's missing. It's like I live in the capital that was here in the 18th century, right? I live next to a building that was built, and I'm like, and the city was built over history, not conjured for old Jewish white people,
Mm.
which is what it is. I don't know. If I can get you all to any city, I don't give a fuck about the weather. I don't, and like California,
Mm. I don't know if I want to be in any of the cities in California.
I know San Diego's pretty
Like
beautiful.
San Francisco, San
No,
Diego's nice, but
I
I
would
don't
never want to
even
live in San Fran.
me either.
Um, San Diego's
I
good.
can't even think of anything like central-ish. Oh, I don't know. I've heard Tempe's kind of a city, but I don't
No,
know.
no,
No.
no. There is not a single city in Arizona that I would live in. No,
Okay.
nope, not a one. Not a one. If there was, I'd be living there because I was married to someone who wanted to live there so badly.
Arizona?
Yes, that's where she came from.
Oh, I didn't
I
know
mean,
that.
she's yeah, not born there, but that's where she was working before she came to Denver, and she had her friend group there. And I get why she wanted to go back. I just, oof. And I would have. I just could actually never find a job that I wanted. So I looked.
I like Tennessee. What's
Memphis,
the town in? No, the city, the one that everyone goes to?
not Memphis,
Nashville. God dang.
Nashville.
But
Yeah,
it's not even
I can get with
too
that.
much of a city. Like it's bigger of a city than anything here in Florida, but I don't
I
think it's
can,
as big as Denver.
I can do Austin. I can do
Really?
Austin. I could
Austin's city enough for you, huh?
only because it's Austin. I think it's an exception because of how I feel in it. I just like it. I've been there enough that I'm like, I like the vibe of the city. Enough. It's bigger than it's like a mini Denver. I'm good with that.
It
Yeah.
felt like Denver to me.
It did.
Yeah.
Uh, More southern, definitely. There was
Yeah.
definitely less hippie, less
Mhm.
southern, but
But there were some cowboy hippie. Remember that guy we saw on that motorcycle bar? Like, he looked like a hipster, but with black cowboy boots.
it was weird. I don't know. I think I just liked the vibe of it. And you and I didn't see the other part of the city that I saw when I went the other two times I was there. So there are different neighborhoods that I don't have mapped, which is also very
Yeah.
similar to Denver. So
Yeah.
like,
The other side I really would have liked to seen, like where they have the springs and like the
yeah,
little like the shit you can hike and
I think I could definitely get with Austin.
yeah, me too.
But finding a city that all of our jobs, lives, and relationships align,
I know.
I know. I think it's a pipe dream, but it's a good one. It's a good dream. The
Mhm.
easiest thing would be for me to just fucking come home. I know, but I like maybe one day. And it depends on like
That is technically where we all do align.
not really. Me professionally is really hard in Florida. Really hard. Although now I'm a lot less a social worker and more like a hospital administrator, so I could probably transfer now into Miami, UN, or a big hospital because I'm at a world-renowned hospital now. So
Hmm. Yeah.
I could probably make that move at some point into a big medical system in Florida, but we'll see. I also love my fucking job. Everything is just so good here right now. It's just so dumb.
Hmm.
So good, it's dumb. And it won't always be. We talked about that concept of joy. I'm really trying to lean into the joyful moments. And there are so many right now that life just feels so good right now. And I think the only way to really enjoy those moments is to recognize that they are temporary. Like life is going to feel like
Yeah.
shit again. It will. And the best part of that is that then on the other side of that is another layer of joy. You just have to wait for that to show up. Living life that way just feels so much better. And I've only ever been able to achieve that here with this job, in this scenario, living with my best friend, having our podcast, having connection points with Christy, having new friends, doing all these things. Like, I've never been able to achieve it before. And I would be really scared to walk away from that. And I wouldn't be walking away from you guys, obviously, if I would be moving closer to you. So maybe that could compensate for some of it, but I
You're
don't.
afraid to alter it.
Yes, I'm afraid to
Or,
alter.
yeah,
I'm afraid to alter it.
because you
Yeah.
could break the whole thing if you, yeah.
And honestly, the likelihood of that, it's likely. That's how adjustment works. You go through a change and you spend the time adjusting and then it feels okay. But I've been running for so long that all I've ever been doing is adjusting. So it's finally okay. I have a job I like. I have a living situation I like. I'm by myself and I'm starting to like myself. So like everything is just finally somewhere that I've always wanted it to be. And I'm just, yeah, I think any changes, it's just scary right now. But maybe if I'm feeling this way for longer, I don't know. We'll see.
Of course, I always want you around, but I'm happy that you're happy there.
Yeah, it's a mind fuck that I found happiness away from the people who make me the happiest. Like it's shitty. And that keeps happening. That was the ending of my relationship too. I can't feel this way and have that. Fucked.
Yeah.
But that is what it is. Well, this got dark. One more question for the road, and we'll make it quick. 10 minutes.
Yeah. All right, let's see. All right. I don't think we can turn this one into a conversation.
Oh, challenge accepted.
But it is, apparently, it's a debate with people. Are you an over or under toilet paper person? So is the toilet paper under or over the roll?
It's over the roll. The fuck do you mean?
Right?
That's not even a question.
Some people are hardcore under.
Who?
Okay, my husband is an I don't care person, and he will put it on to where it's under, and it drives me nuts, and I have to change it and put it over.
I change it in other people's houses.
Same. Same. I feel like somebody must have made a mistake here. Let me fix this for you.
I fucking love your face. I fucking love your face. I feel the same exact way. Listen. Why? So it keeps rolling into your garbage can? Like, why?
What are you doing there?
Why? You need the resistance of the top roll so that when you tear it off, it just doesn't keep going into your fucking garbage can or whatever's under it or onto the floor. Then you gotta rip off the piece that went on the floor and throw that away. Not going anywhere near my pussy. What are you doing? It has to go over. Oh my God. People, you uncivilized motherfuckers. Who goes under? I want to hear from you.
Yes. Are you unders?
I want to hear from you. It makes no sense.
I want to hear from you so we can attack you, apparently. So we can attack this shit out of you.
We can change your mind. That's why. We need to change your mind about this. We have given up on politics, as evidenced by the last 3 or 4 episodes.
We're all for free thought and everyone's own opinion and live your life except for this one.
Except for this.
Except for this.
Or Trump support.
Yeah,
or
too.
Or alt-right
Without question.
views. Or hate.
Come on.
Or
within reason, people.
Right.
Within reason.
Things that make sense. This does not make sense. I want to hear the logical reason to go under.
Yeah.
I do. Oh, and okay. All right. So like when you're in a fancy hotel, right? And they put the little sticker, right?
Corner.
They fold your toilet paper and they put it, and then they put a little sticker, and there's a point. There's a point pointing down. You know why? Because that is how the toilet paper, so it's coming down to a point. Should the point be up? Does that make any fucking sense? Should the point be up or down? What makes sense? The point should be down, because then you pull on the point to get toilet paper.
Yeah. Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. You just solved it.
Thank you.
Solved the mystery.
Thank you. So if I'm over your house and your toilet paper turns around, that's why.
Let's change it.
I am correcting an injustice. You should know better. I'll even put a point.
We have to start solving the world's problems somewhere.
I'll be putting a point to let you know that was me. This is what I learned. When you go to somewhere fancy and there's a point, and then it's almost just like an imprint. It's like an imprint that keeps it. There's no sticker or anything. It's just like an imprint.
Yes.
Do you know how they do that?
Like a stamp.
No. Do you know how they do that?
Their
Okay,
teeth.
ready? Yeah, totally. Okay. On the faucet, there's like the perfect metal piece in your faucet. It's just perfectly circular. It
They
comes
take
down.
that out of the faucet?
Just listen to me. Do you
Okay.
know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
The circular end of a faucet in a bathroom
Yeah.
faucet. Okay, great.
Okay.
So you turn it on and then you turn it off. And then you fold the point and then you just put the roll up on it and it makes it just a little bit damp. Then you put it back.
No shit.
Swear to
I'm
God,
gonna
do
try
it.
it.
Do it.
You know
I
I'm
do
gonna
it.
try it.
I do it now. When I have guests.
Fancy.
I'm so fancy. It works better on a thicker. You can't do 1-ply, girl. You're gonna soak through 4 layers. Yeah, you just need
It dissolves.
It just has a whole
What is this shit? What is this rotten toilet paper? We're not staying here again.
But yeah, it just sticks a little bit, and then you have to take it off, and it looks fancy.
Nice. Oh, look at that. You've also learned something.
You say we can't find a way. We found a fucking way.
Challenge accepted.
And achieved, not gonna lie.
Definitely.
All right. Are we
All
good?
right. Yep. That's time.
Okay. Off to
Love
sleep
you.
some more. Love you. Bye. This is the
Good
awkward
nap.
part. Bye. Bye, Fran. Bye, Fran.